I can't stay silent about the Smoky Mountains any longer. In October of 1976, 16-year-old Teresa, who went by Treny, was on a high school field trip to Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It was a crisp autumn day, and the group of over 40 students and teachers from a local Knoxville high school was hiking the Andrews Bald Trail near an area called Klingman's Dome, which I've been to. And I didn't know about this story at the time, and honestly, I'm glad that I didn't, because I think it would have put a damper on things. Treny was surrounded by classmates from most of the day, hiking with her friends, and everything just seemed fine, despite the cold and wet conditions along the trail. But, you know, it was good, all the way up until the moment that it wasn't, I should say. As Treny was hiking, she would sometimes drift either just ahead or just behind the main group of school kids. By the mid-afternoon, Treny and her classmates were almost back to the parking lot where they'd get back on the bus and head back home for the day. They were all pretty tired from a long day of adventuring and hiking, and so a few of the kids decided to take a short rest while they were only about a half-mile from the trailhead. But Treny decided that she didn't want to wait. She wanted to keep going, and she seemed to be in a hurry to get back almost. And so as her friends took a breather, she continued forward on the trail and simply faded into the woods. Her friends soon got back on the trail. This was a short break after all, and they thought that they'd catch back up with her either along the trail or, you know, back at the parking lot, but that didn't happen. They hiked all the way back to the bus, and Treny wasn't there waiting for them. They boarded the bus and they started checking each row of seats, but one after the other, Treny was nowhere to be found. The teachers had no answers either. As much as the kids were freaking out, can you imagine how much the teachers and chaperones were probably freaking out? Everyone on this field trip soon felt a massive wave of dread wash over them when they realized that Treny was missing. She was gone. Rangers and dogs and helicopters and all the things combed the area. Her classmates were absolutely perplexed. They didn't have the first clue what could have happened to her. She'd seemed fine all day long, and so maybe she ran away. But then where would she have gone? She was just a 16-year-old girl surrounded by tons and tons of teachers and classmates. Shortly after Treny disappeared, one report came out that an underage girl in Bryson City, North Carolina had tried to get married to an older man. And some folks wondered if this was Treny, but unfortunately nothing was ever confirmed. Another report given to Knoxville police said that someone looking similar to Treny got on a plane in Newark, New Jersey with a, quote, much older man, and the two of them got off the plane in Nassau. But again, nothing ever came out of that report either. Treny had vanished, and the hope of finding her was rapidly vanishing too. To this day, no real trace of Treny Gibson has ever been found, and the mystery of how a young girl can just straight up disappear in broad daylight surrounded by her friends and teachers remains one of the most haunting unsolved cases in the Smoky Mountains and in all of national park history.